In the last video, we made these. And in this video, we will piece them together. So that's pretty. Very pretty. This is a big felt wall of fabric, and we had to pin it up there. And we had to put on my bedroom wall. So we're going to, the fibers connect that. But just to be sure, we're gonna pin. Huzzah! And we're just gonna go, well, for us, 9 this way and 10 that way. Want this to be on the corner. Don't know why, it's just my favorite. Oh, hiya! This is just temporary, so we don't have to pin it yet. This one's like a lost sheep over here. Today we'll be turning patches to columns, from this to this, from tomato to tomato, potato, potato. Okay, so when we sew the columns together, it's going to be like this. So to make sure that we do it the right way, we flip it over so that when we sew right here, we flip it back and it looks good. So we need to line this up. Not quite perfect, or no such thing as perfect, but as good as you can get it. Don't drop corners like I do. We're going to do 1/4 of an inch. Remember your backstitch, kids. One more. Try your best to follow that 1/4 of an inch line. Whoops, I made a mistake there. But it's okay. Fix that. Then we unflip it. And it's the wrong way. Is it? No. See. Now we have to remember to snip that off. Should have a little knife right there. And now we have to remember to iron. Now it's time for the third one. A majority of people would do rows, but I'm doing columns today. Now, well, this will be the third one. Bing, bang, boom. Again, we'll just flippity, flip it over. Line it up again. That sounds very good. You have to make sure that all the sides are nice and even, because sometimes this part will be even and this part won't. Remember when we were using the wool mat? Well, we're going to use it again, and the purpose of the wool mat is when you iron on one side, it irons both sides. That way you don't have to flip it over and iron again. But if you're usually using a regular ironing board or ironing pad, whatever, then it doesn't work that way. Anyway, when we were, you know how we sewed these parts open? Well, now it's time to sew these parts open. Mwahahaha! Hopefully yours look better than mine. Now we turn that to zat. This to that. Tomato, tomato. Chef's kiss. That's just not. Today we'll be going from this to this, nice and pinned, whoops, to nice and sewn and ironed. Let's get sewing.
So like the wind, very old one.
How rude! Make sure that your stitch length and tension is on 2.5 and 2.5, both of them. I was lucky because sometimes when you're stitching you'll accidentally run over your pin, but I was lucky because it was slightly to the side and I went just past it. Have my good luck years. And off we go. A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. Mary Poppins, people. Mary Poppins. Hello everyone. Today we're at Quilter's Quarters and today is my deadline to finish the quilts and I'm going to be sandwiching the last one, which means putting the backing, the batting on top, and then the top layer and then pinning it all together and quilting. Let's begin and I'll be showing you how to do that. It's cold. Tape the backing down with the pretty side, aka the right side, facing down. Mama will be assisting me. Do what you can with the space that you are given. We will be securing the top, batting, and backing together in sections. Place the batting on top of the backing while leaving 2 inches of space between the backing. And the top of the batting, any extra batting we have will be trimmed off later. Now we add the topper with the right side facing up. Give yourself a 5-inch gap from the top of the backing to the top of the topper. Everything will get shorter as you sew and you will have to square off later. After the sandwiching has been quilted, you can then self-bind, like I'm going to do, or you can add binding, but that's going to be a whole other lesson one day. This is what things are looking like. Remember, we will be trimming off all the excess and then squaring up after the quilting process. Make everything as smooth as possible, working from the center out. Then pin everything from the center out. We'll be using these oversized curved safety pins. Don't forget to pin from the center out so that all the wrinkles get pushed outward. Make sure to pin through all 3 layers: quilt top, batting, and backing. This will keep everything secure and in place while we secure the other sections and as we do our quilting. With the first section secure, it is time to take the tape off and shift everything over so that we can smoothen another section and pin. Always working from the center out, continue the process until all of the sections of your blanket are secure. Mama is giving the blanket a trim so that it is more manageable for me and it will fit better in the throat of my machine. If you had to take pins out to make room for your ruler, make sure you put them back. I use painter's tape to mark a guide for where I will be sewing. Make sure you change your stitch length to 3.0 or 3.5. If you want the stitch length long enough to go through all 3 layers. Make sure to backstitch at the beginning and end of each quilting seam. We just finished the quilting and now it's time to take out all the clips and trim all the loose threads. Okay, now we'll iron the quilt now that it's all together, and then Mama will cut the batting, but be careful not to cut the back. Okay, now Mama is cutting off all the extra batting without cutting off the backing.
It's tucked away.
Yes. Okay, Mama just cut a 2.5-inch seam from the edge of the blanket. I am self-binding for this quilt, which means I am using the backing as my binding. Stay tuned for a detailed video on binding. You just keep sewing down in the back stitch here, and then you fold this and do the L. Okay, so you want to fold like this, and then like this. And if you have anything sticking over here, you want to tuck that in, and then you can get these clips and clip it there. And then Now that your binding is complete, we'll add your logo or label or anything that makes this unique. Hello, time for the fact finale. Fun fact, these are too big. Did you know that the first functional sewing machine was invented by the French tailor Barthélemy Timonier in 1830? Well, it's been fun. Now that you've finished piecing all your patches together, it's time to piece them in the order that you like. Puzzle me this, puzzle me that. Who's afraid of the big black rabbit? Today we'll be turning patches to columns. From this to that. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato. It ends somewhere. Oh. And here? Start here.
Do a little testing.
Yep de do, yep de do. Testing, 1, 2, 3, yep de do. Please like, share, and subscribe.